Café and Networking Podcast promotes successful business experts. I'm Tom Reaoch, known as the King of Networking, connecting people throughout the world from my podcast studio in Brazil. And today we talk with Paul Teasdale, and he's joining us from Chobham, England. Paul Teasdale, founder of the Rapid Performance online course, an easy-to-follow framework that helps you perform using lessons, insights, and experience from high-performing Formula One teams. So, Paul, what are the key leadership lessons that can be learned from Formula One?
Great question, Tom. And first and foremost, thank you so much for having me on the show. I've been listening to a lot of your previous guests and honored to be in such esteemed company and really looking forward to this conversation. So, yeah, I had the opportunity to work with the McLaren Formula One team, and I worked with them for about 7 years here in Woking in the UK. And I was helping to take their ways of working, their methodologies, and their practices out to other businesses. So I was working with everyone from supermarket shelf stacking problems to oil and gas drilling, airport operations, all about how do you take lessons from the world of F1 and some of the technologies to make better decisions and ultimately to perform better and to accelerate people's performance. And now I work independently, taking those lessons and other lessons that I've learned along the way, working with other high performance teams, everyone from sausage makers to bankers and everything in between. And I help people take those lessons that I've learned from the world of F1 and make them real for them so that they can apply them to accelerate their own performance.
And you've put that all online.
Yes, and I do this in person, but there's also an online course, which is the Rapid Performance framework that you talked about, and that is all about helping people to make better data-led decisions by putting data last. And that's come from a lot of the insights that I've had in the world of F1, where
I enjoy hearing that, because also in the business world, what I find and it's across the business world, people always think they have time to do what they think they want to do.
Definitely.
And what we find in real life, that's not true. The competition's sometimes running faster than you are. And things change every second. So to perform, you really need to be, on it constantly. It's not something, well, tomorrow morning I'll do that. The race is over. It's gone.
Precisely. And what I'm trying to help people with the rapid performance in particular is we live in such a data heavy environment. Right. And there's almost a working assumption that more data leads to better decisions and better performance. And you only have to think about this from your own perspective. Is if you're sitting there with all the data, the reports that you've got, and somebody starts piling more and more data at you, you've only got so much headspace. So Rapid is all about a way of thinking that has been taken from the world of F1 that helps you to understand exactly what it is you need and pull the smallest data set towards you. And it puts you in
business
control.
is, as life is, it's process oriented.
Precisely.
So the thinner the slice, the more precise the process could maybe be understood and even communicated.
Yeah, I love that. The thinner the slice, the better the price.
No, because I take that back to racing, but everything in the company, there are just so many slices. Yeah, and really, as a business leader, there is the excess data. If you have your dashboard, any dashboard for your company, what is it that you need to look at?
Yeah, and critically, I talk about what insights do you need to make better decisions. Not more data, I need better insights. And often that means smaller data sets or different data than you have already. So that's one element around making better decisions. And to go back to your original question about leadership lessons, because this is the other part of my business, helping teams and organizations take high performance leadership from the world of F1 and apply those lessons for themselves. I've got three main things that I generally talk about. One is what we call decisions at the point of most knowledge. So who in your organization is making those decisions when the pressure is on? Right. Is it having to go up through the hierarchy and get people's approval? Is it the most sort of tenured person who's been there the longest, the person who shouts the loudest? Or is it the person who has the most knowledge in that particular situation? And I've got some great F1 stories around.
It's full of them. That's what the race is all about.
Exactly. And tied in with that is, as a leader, when those high pressure points are happening, when big decisions need to be made, something's happening, what is your role? Because your role as a leader, and I listened to Scott Ritzheimer's episode with you recently. I know Scott, he had some great insights about, as a leader, you can't be the one jumping onto the football field and making the catches. Right. Some brilliant analogies there. Right. And it's the same in the world of F1 and the same in business. And your role as a leader is to look for the eyes. So when those high pressure moments are happening, who are your team naturally turning to?
Right.
Who do they look for support? And it might not be the traditional leader in your business. Right. It might be someone who they just trust, who they understand their expertise and they value that expertise in that moment. And as a leader, your job is to look out for those eyes and then to nurture those people as future leaders and to encourage them to do more.
And hopefully be emotionally neutral.
Precisely. And it's not to get your job as a leader when the moment comes, it's too late.
Right.
You've got a whole load of work to do to prep your team, to give them the tools and techniques and the ways of working to manage those situations. When it happens, you're there to step back, look for the eyes, see how the team reacts, and have the debrief and understand what can we do better next time.
So I've learned that too from just watching the races. You see, even more and more, the race is more strategic than tactical. I'm not saying there aren't tactics, but strategic. Yeah, and pit or don't pit, change tires or don't do that or whatever, temperature's going up or not, whatever. It's ongoing. It's all the time. And then back to what you said of who do you listen to? I'm sure like in the race, the leader, whoever is speaking to the driver, he's listening to different people at different times for different situations, right?
Precisely. And you need the right expertise to feed those insights. And I use the word heavily. Feed those insights to the decision makers so that they can make the decision and communicate them clearly to your driver, whoever your driver in your organization is. And that might be your operations team. It might be your sales force.
Right.
If they're the person delivering on the moment, the rest of the team is there to help them win. It's to help them do everything they can to provide the right insights to help them be at their best.
Well, what I see when watching the races, sometimes it's as important to cool down the engine as it is to cool down the driver.
Precisely. And there's actually a lot of decisions being made in the background about actually keep off the power for now because we need it for later.
Right.
You assume that everyone's pedal to the floor all the time, and actually, no, you end up with literally burnout, which is what you
that's
see.
Business. You run out of gas. If you just go full speed all the time, you burn everybody out.
So you've got to be strategic in how you approach that as well.
Fantastic, Paul. Well, thanks for sharing. It's really exciting. How can our listeners find you?
The best way to find me is to go to my website, which is paulteasdale.co.uk. And you'll find on that website the Rapid Performance online course. And if you use there's a coupon code I've set up called Café Tom, and you'll get 50% off any of the offers there. But reach out, please do. There's an opportunity through that website to reach out to me at any point. Find me on LinkedIn, connect. I'd love to hear more.
Very good. Fantastic. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for your time.
And again, for our listeners, it's Paul Teasdale, Paul. The last name is Teasdale. You'll find him on LinkedIn and also paulteasdale.co.uk. paulteasdale.co.uk. Café Networking is brought to us by Focus MI Market Intelligence, an agricultural market research specialist in Brazil. More information at their site, focusmi.com. Talk to Tom, talk to the world. Thanks for listening. Until the next time here at Café and Networking Podcast.